Samurai, The Last Battle, the Satsuma Rebellion. In the late 19th century, as Western powers competed across Asia, Japan sought to build a cooperative relationship with its neighbor Korea. However, Korea rejected Japan's diplomatic letter, which used the character emperor, a term closely tied to the Sinocentric order, and viewing a rapidly westernizing Japan with suspicion, maintained its policy of isolation. The debate over how to break this deadlock, even through the possible use of force, became known as the Seikanron, with Saigo Takamori as its most prominent advocate. Ultimately, Saigo parted ways with anti-Seikanron leaders within the government and resigned from office. Samurai who admired him gathered in Kagoshima, where private academies were established. These schools taught not only classical learning, but also the use of firearms and artillery, prompting growing concern within the government. And it was the accumulation of these tensions that ultimately led to the outbreak of the Satsuma Rebellion. Saigo's army was made up of former samurai. The government forces were conscripts farmers and ordinary civilians. Many believe the outcome was obvious. There is no way the samurai can lose. They were wrong. The Satsuma Rebellion was not just a civil war. It was a direct confrontation between two eras, the world of the samurai and the birth of a modern nation-state. The government poured in troops from across the country, overwhelming Saigo's forces with sheer numbers, weapons, and logistics. Despite their courage and discipline, the samurai could not withstand the tide. Saigo's army was defeated. The end of the war marked more than a military victory. It symbolized the end of the samurai age in Japan. During the conflict, Kido Takayoshi, who had watched events with deep concern, died of illness. Okubo Toshimichi remained at the center of power, only to be assassinated later by disaffected former samurai. One by one, Saigo Takamori, Kido Takayoshi, and Okubo Toshimichi, the men known as the three great leaders of the Meiji Restoration, disappeared from the stage of history. Japan was changing, irreversibly. Yet unrest did not end. Anger over inadequate rewards, resentment toward conscription, and the influence of the freedom and people's rights movement sparked armed uprisings even among elite imperial guards. To divert this growing discontent, calls for overseas expansion resurfaced. But this new push was no longer about saving disaffected samurai. It was driven by global geopolitics, a strategy shaped by fear of Russian and Qing expansion. The samurai were gone, and Japan stepped fully onto the path of a modern power.